disconnected. Something's happening. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Where's my... There it is. There it is. Okay. What the freak? My doll didn't load in. My chat didn't load in. And then immediately, my OBS said, disconnect. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. This is our continuation from the game we played on Valentine's Day. Hi, Mystic. Hi, Zeno. Hi, 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 hi. Late? Shut up. I'm not even late. Let's just start playing, right? Oh my god. Holy freaking scuff, bro. Where's my game? Where's my game? Okay. Hold on. It's like... No, that's not good. Fit? There we go. What is with me? The scuff is insane. Hello, everybody. Everybody. We're gonna play. Last time we left off, we did the princess's route, and we also did the mermaid's route. So, what we need to do now is finish the village girl that we need to meet, and then I think the secret ending kind of thing. So shall we start? Shall we start? I think it was right here. Okay, yes. Which path will you take? The village. We're going to the village. If for the first one, mermaid, she drowned me. So that's very like obvious, right? Because it's like ocean and stuff. The princess, she ate me alive, which kind of threw me off. It threw me off, but I don't know. I wonder how the village girl is gonna kill me. So we'll figure it out. That'll be my little mini mystery to solve. Okay, I haven't read anything in a long time. Hold on. So you want to go to the village? Good idea. Let's see what further trials await you there. This night is far from over, as much as you wish it was, and there's still much and more to discover. I wonder what will happen next. You follow the path which leads to the village, supporting yourself on weary, aching limbs which feel ready at a moment's notice to snap the knee beneath the burden of your weight. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down, and quickly. The only hope as you continue to run that you'll find a suitable residence in which to rest at the village. You do not know what will await you at the village, but you have visions as you run of a quaint, scenic settlement, all thatched cottages and with sloping roofs. Surely there'll be a kindly peasant who'll be willing to put up a young runaway for a few nights. You can imagine, too, the face of this kindly peasant from the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. She will be broad-shouldered and ruddy-faced, with dull brown hair crammed beneath a cap. Her arms will be sturdy from many years of washing clothes and milking cows, but she will be kind to you and compassionate, just like a mother. You do not know what mothers are like. You hardly ever spoke to yours. You're only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Peasants do not, as you know from your voracious reading, have much money, nor do they have much food. It might be hard to convince a resident of the village, even a kindly washerwoman of your fantasies, to take in a complete stranger. Still, you must try. That's all you can do, really. So you run to the village. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally you manage it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did it not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? The forest is behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares which dwelt within it. It's still cold, though. It's still foggy. It's still dark, too. The sun has yet to rise. Are mom's girls, No. No. Moms are women, right? Girls are younger, unless it's like a mom who had a baby when she was younger. Mm, 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 mm. Are we gonna get... I don't think we have a mom-like character. Sun is yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now, though, as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the village, nestled among the hills like a diorama. Hope anew bubbles within you. You have finally made it. Surely not, but your salvation awaits you. You follow the winding dirt path to the village, looking this way and that, but your hope, such a precious, fragile thing, soon begins to fade. You're the mom-like character. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. What the freak? What the freak? I'm not, like... I'm not mommy or, like, mom-like at all. You don't even know me, Mystic. You don't even know me. I thought you knew me. Disappointing. Disappointing. The village up close does not look half as welcoming as you imagined. There are cottages, yes, but they're in a state of disrepair. There are holes in the roofs and holes in the windows. Most of the doors are tightly shut, but others are gaping open. The kitchens beyond them even darker than the night sky which shrouds you. Is this the same village that the mermaid talked to us about last time? In like how there's like a plague that might have taken out the village? Maybe? Perhaps? That's the fastest you've ever read chat, cause I saw it and it immediately offended me. Most of the doors are tightly shut, but I've just read that. I'm stupid. There are no lights on in any of the windows, and neither can you see any people, insomniacs like you, at them. You cannot hear anything either, beyond the sound of your own footsteps and the low, mournful sighing of the wood. The village is quiet. It's quite quiet, eerily so. It is immediately obvious, even to a naive girl such as yourself, that something terrible must have befallen this village. You know, before you try your luck at one of the houses, that nobody will answer you. There will be no kindly red-armed washerwoman to welcome you here, no matter how much you wish for it. But that does not stop you from wishing regardless. Your knuckles rap smartly against the wooden door, your efforts to improve, however, to be in vain. There's nobody here to hear your entreaties. How very sad! You try another door, then another, but the result is the same regardless of how many doors you rap upon. Nobody answers you. How could they? There's nobody there. Just sleep in one of the houses. You have no trouble going into people's houses in the other routes. Once again, you found yourself all alone. At least you found some dwellings in which you can rest your weary head. Will you utilize one of these cottages for your purposes? Nobody's here. You might as well. But no, an abandoned cottage is not what you're looking for. You would far rather have companionship, would you not? Bravely, you swallow your tears. You wipe your eyes with the back of your arm in a well-practiced motion, then inhale. You square your shoulders, and you keep on going. Surely the village cannot be completely deserted. There must be one person here, at the very least, who can help you. That's what you're thinking as you resume your search. You flit from cottage to cottage with precious little to show for your determination until you make yet another discovery. This scared me. Ooh, what instrument is this? It sounds like a string instrument, but I don't know what it is. Sounds deep. Maybe like a cello or something? I don't know my instruments. It's nice though. Very ominous. This village, with its squat thatched cottages bathed in the moon's glow, has a church. Well, of course it has a church. The villagers who once dwelt here were not godless heathens. Not that their faith did them all that much good in the end. Still, the sight of this church soothes your overtaxed heart. You're so focused on your fantasies of a kindly washerwoman taking you in, you do not pause to entertain the fancy of a kindly nun doing much the same. All hope is not lost. You approach the church, which seems to tower over you despite it being so humble. The church is a small one, but it's stout and sturdy. It must be, for it has withstood centuries, forever standing sentinel on this hill like a relic from a bygone era. The church does not have any stained glass windows, but it does not need them. Even without more luxurious trappings, the church still exudes an aura of dignified solemnity? Solemnity. I don't know how to pronounce that, because solemn is pronounced solemn even with the N. Solemnity? Solemnity? Okay. The stone building is fringed by a sizable graveyard, one which occupies the rest of the hilltop and some of its sloping sides. The graves which have been planted by generations of wardens are hewn from a similar stone to that which the church's walls are made of. Some of the gravestones are shaped like lozenges, while others are shaped like crosses. A handful of headstones are even shaped like angels, though these are few and far between. Sound it out? I know how to spell and sound things out. It's just that whatever. There are very few people in a village such as this one who can afford such a luxurious vinyl resting place. Ooh, bunch of graves and tombstones. You looking at the tombstones with an almost You look at the tombstones with an almost childlike curiosity, forgetting in your examination of the visceral, heart-rending fear which gripped you as you ran through the forest. You're out of the woods now, and you have subconsciously already begun to relax. You try to read the names hewn into the myriad tombstones, but it is dark and you're tired, and some of the graves are very, very old indeed. You strain your eyes, but you do not have much luck in this endeavor. Oh well. Such superfluous details are not important. You eventually tire of examining the graves in turn. This graveyard is an expansive one, unusually so, given the village itself is so small. How can it boast so many corpses? There's much to explore. You walk about the perimeter of the church, casting your gaze first here, then there, then everywhere, consumed as you are by your immense, all-encompassing curiosity. Hi, Praxis. Welcome. Karma doesn't know how to read theory. What the freak? I know how to read English. I just don't know how to read in Portuguese. How is that my fault? Karma does know how to read. I don't want to hear it from someone who failed the world today. Yeah, I'm going there. Don't even try. Don't mess with me. Also, hello, Aeon. Welcome. Ah, yes, it's cute white lethal game. I know. We're playing Guess How the New Cute Girl is Gonna Kill You. But we haven't met her yet. Imagine failing Wordle. Hello, Eric. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. We missed you. Karma's Canadian. Karma is not. Karma is American from the United States of America. Karma was born and raised. That's my evil noise. One Wordle. Yeah, one Wordle. Didn't you fail 2 Wordles? Didn't you fail at least another one? Yeah, it's been a bit. Yes, but I'm glad you're here. Okay, next. And as you do, you see her. She's so cute. Oh my gosh. Doesn't she kind of look like me? Look, we both have short white hair. Don't you think so? Don't you? What an ugly B word calls you twin. No. No. She's so cute. And this isn't narcissistic at all. It's I like her. Okay, but she has bones on her cloak and she has a shovel. Here's my theory. Buried alive. That's what she's gonna do to me. She has a shovel, come on. And we were just looking at all these graves. She's gonna bury me alive. No need to bring up Wordle, guys. Yeah. No need to bring up karma illiterate theory. Because it's false. Now that one is wife. I agree. She looks like Virgil from Devil May Cry. Never played it, but maybe she does. If you say so, then I believe you. She looks like an ordinary girl, small and scrawny, just like yourself, but she is much more than her unremarkable appearance might suggest. For some moments you observe beneath the moon's light a silvery implement the girl is clutching shimmers. It takes you a few moments to see what it is the girl is clutching in her hands. It's not until you see her manipulate it, the sharp edge biting into the earth, that you understand. It's a shovel. Yeah, we can all see that. Also, I love how it's like very obviously not straight. It better be broken. If not, her grip is crazy. Or that's like a very rubbery shovel. And that's why she's attractive, because she looks like me. I'm gonna take that. I don't remember what I said, so I'm taking that as the truth. Truth nuke! This girl's standing in an isolated corner of the churchyard, late at night, and she's digging a grave. Well, you suppose she could always be digging a hole for the sake of it, but her work seems to be much too precise for this to be the result of mere whimsy. It's hard for you to see her face, given the distance between the pair of you. Her posture is one that speaks of supreme concentration. She moves slowly and mechanically, like a woman on a mission, driving the end of her shovel into the earth over and over. Her motions are regular enough to be repetitive. There's something hypnotic almost in the manner in which she attends this task. Should you risk interrupting her? Yes. Do you dare? Yes. Hey girl. Hey girl, what's your name? Can I have your WeChat? You get the feeling she would not appreciate it. Why? The shovel in her hands, meanwhile, is rather hefty. If she wished it, she could cause you no small amount of damage with it. Well, okay. Cold anxiety makes your skin prickle. You do not know if you should risk speaking to her when she, in her dark cloak with her shovel, looks so very strange. But what do you have left to lose? You've come this far. It would be folly to turn back now. It's within this thought in your mind that you decide to approach the strange girl. Her footsteps are quiet. You've grown accustomed to slinking around like a cat, but they're not quiet enough. The girl's senses must be finely tuned because she blinks. Whoa! Then she turns. Your eyes meet, and once they do, you feel your breath catch in your throat. You did not have a clear view of the girl before, concealed as you were in the shadows, but now she looks at you. But now, she looking at you, you can tell that she is pretty. I could already tell before she even looked at me. Her skin is very smooth, and her hair, though obscured by a dark hood, is very fair. Her eyes, meanwhile, are clear, cool blue like ice. Those eyes of her, which are large with unease, are fringed with very long, fair eyelashes. Dude, this MC is so freaking gay. She looks as though she stepped out of the pages of a picture book. She's simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she has some kind of vision, a walking dream, a hallucination? But no, she's none of those things. The shovel she's clutching in her hands looks solid enough. Its pointed tip glittering wickedly in the moonlight. You steel yourself, expecting perhaps some sort of outburst. But the tension soon drains from the girl's slender shoulders. Her fingers, which once were gripping the handle of her shovel, tightly relax. Her lips curve upwards at the edges. Oh, she's smiling at me! Do you think that means she likes me? She's smiling, and what a smile it is! It's transformative. When she smiles, she looks radiant, angelic almost. Hers is a smile that's so suffused with light that your eyes begin to prickle from it. You're so relieved, you almost feel as if you could cry. It would not be the first time you've wept during this night, and neither would it be too surprising if you did. You've been through a lot. You must be exhausted. The girl holding the shovel seems to realize this because she bridges the distance between you cautiously, as one might approach a skittish cat. Then, she says in a rough voice which does not match her dainty appearance. Well, she does live in a rural village. What were you expecting? Oh, it's so good. They said a rural, and they said a rough voice. So she has to be country, right? Oh, it's so good to say another person. I can't, hold on. I forgot how to do it. I was afraid I was the only person left alive and the only one in the whole world. Oh, it like made her like cuteness level drop like 50 points with this stupid voice. Necromancer undead. Ooh, maybe she's the town's necromancer. That's a good theory. Now that's quite the effusive reading. Her introductory speech is riddled with exclamation marks. She's rather more impressionable than her apparel would make one suggest. You, a well-bred young lady, cannot help but feel overwhelmed. It's your turn now to be on your guard. Anxiously, you observe the girl with a shovel and you ask her what she means. What happened? Oh, do you not know? There's an awful lot you do not know. So much, in fact, it would fill a whole encyclopedia. No, a whole library. You shake your head, ashamed at your ignorance, and the girl frowns. You mustn't be from around these parts. I guess I should have known. Village is a small one. Everybody knows everybody else. Girl's expression falls. At least they used to, back when they were still people to know. That ain't the case now, though. Not after the plague. I knew there was a plague! Cause the princess said, oh, the village? No one's in the village. Everyone's dead. And then the mermaid was like, oh, the village? I don't know what happened. She doesn't come anymore, and I don't see anybody. I haven't seen anybody in a long time. I think a plague took them out. I knew it. Again, Karma having the wrong opinion. Her voice is cute. If you say so. There was a plague. That would certainly explain why the village, when you walked through it, was so quiet. Did everybody else succumb to this mysterious illness? Do you think they're zombies? That would be cool. That's right. It's just me here now. I've not seen another human being in a long time. It gets so lonely here. Oh, that's the red flag. As soon as they say that, I'm trapped forever. Now that's an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? You did not have much time to ponder this, however, because the girl takes a step towards you. Oh, but where are my manners? They must have gone rusty after being on my own for so long. My apologies, miss. You look like you come a long way. You said you were a traveler, yeah? And your hands are very cold, just like ice. Would you like to come inside? Maybe have something warm to eat and to drink? My home's small, I'm afraid, and my food ain't nothing fancy, but I'd be more than willing to share. Oh, she's smiling at me with her teeth. That's so cute. It's not every day another girl stops by, especially not one as pretty as yourself. I'm feeling very blessed. She's flirting with me. She's flirting with me. She's flirting with me. If you insist. The girl laughs, a carefree, airy sort of laugh, which is not match your initial impression of her. You thought when you saw her among the graves that she would be more distant somehow and more mysterious. Perhaps you're mixing her up with somebody else. You're still unsure if you can trust this girl, but her invitation is an appealing one. It's much more appealing, certainly, than spending the night outdoors in the cold, kipping on the graves. What are you, a romantic poet? Please. You make a show of pondering the girl's invitation. At the very least, you don't want to appear too eager, but your acquiescence is, alas, an inevitability. Why would you ever refuse her? She's the first friendly face you've seen all night. Without her, you'd be all alone. She's flirting! Now's your chance to steal the shovel! No! Well, I guess she's totally gonna kill me with that shovel, bro. Buried alive. I'm calling it. Your hostess leads you to a small, humble home located but a stone's throw away from the church, built in the shadows of a twisted, towering sycamore. Sycamore is a type of tree, you guys. I know that one. The girl's home is in such a state that it seems a folly to even call it home. Hovel would to you be the more appropriate descriptor. But when your hostess leads you inside, her eyes alive, and she says, "Here we are, home sweet home." You don't have the heart to tell her that you don't find her home very homey or very sweet. I'm so mean. She's like, She's been talking bad about peasants for like the whole game. And then when a peasant is like kind to me and is taking me in and is like feeding me and giving me shelter, I'm like, ugh, this place is a dump. This is why you're gonna die, bro. That'd be incredibly rude. As a guest, you gotta be more appreciative. Exactly. Half-heartedly, you look around your newfound surroundings. The ceiling supported by wooden joists, and it's perilously low. Not so much so that you're in danger of bumping your head, but just enough to feel claustrophobic. There's a fire in the corner, though it's not consigned to a grate. The fire instead is blazing in the open, a circle of logs set alight like a scene from a witch's kitchen. Above the fire hangs a silvery pot, suspended from one of the wooden eaves. Other objects of interest are hung from the eaves, iron implements you take to be cooking utensils, various herbs, and strips of meat left to cure. The smell of cooking fills the air, mingled with the sharp, sour scent of unwashed bodies. How, you wonder, does your hostess clean herself? You do not see a bathtub anywhere. Perhaps she does not possess one. The girl's home is unremarkable in every regard, but it is to you suppose, better than nothing. At least there's a roof over your head and food to put your belly. Oh, she took it off. She took off her clothes. The girl looks at the pot suspended over the fire, which she gives a stir with the ladle. Then she brings the ladle to her lips to taste whatever concoction she has brewing within it. You can only hope that she's not, like the weird sisters from that famous play, brewing a broth with fenny snake fillets. Yeah, I think it's just about done, the girl says to nobody in particular. Yeah. She sets the ladle down, back into the pot, then looks at you and smiles. Main character officially hates poor people. She's been hating since day one. It's weird. Like, in the mermaid route, when she was really hating on the mermaid's, like, ex-girlfriend who died. Her little peasant girlfriend. She was like, ugh, disgusting. Do you want something? It looks as though you've come quite a long way. You must be hungry. These words are like music to your ears, even more divine than the trumpets of God's most loyal angels. You're so hungry you could eat a horse. Not that there are any horses in the immediate vicinity. You express your interest to your hostess, who smiles in response. I thought you'd like the sound of that. Just give me a few minutes. Your hostess retrieves 2 earthenware bowls from a cupboard with rickety hinges, into which she pours 2 hefty helpings of whatever she's cooking. This she serves with bread, which is so hefty it could be used as a murder weapon. It's not much, I'm afraid. It's only soup and bread. It should take the edge off your appetite, though. You thank your hostess for her hospitality, your stomach rumbling all the while. The soup does not look like anything you would typically consume, but the soup's poor presentation does not dissuade you. It's true enough that people eat first with their eyes, but when one is hungry enough, one becomes obliging enough to eat almost anything. Why else would you think that people, when stranded upon desert islands, will resort to cannibalism? Can we not bring up cannibalism when we just got eaten? Humans are creatures of necessity. You like to wrap yourself up in pretensions, but in actuality, you're not much better than animals. You're so hungry, your stomach is achingly empty, that you certainly descend upon your food like an animal. Your teeth glint, your incisors gleam, and soon you've consumed all that your hostess has offered you. Your hostess watches while you eat, and she giggles once you've finished. Did you enjoy that? Oh, you catch your hostess's gaze, suddenly abashed. You're so hungry, you fail to account for her judgment. Now you have some food in your belly, though, and you've been suitably warmed. Your old self-consciousness is returning. Did you not make a fool out of yourself? You demur shyly, looking at your lap, fearful all the while of what your hostess might think of you. You do not want her to take against you. Fortunately for you, however, and for your fragile ego, your hostess is not the judgmental sort. She's not like the girls you grew up with. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's nice to see my food being appreciated so heartily. I know I'm not the best, but I've been practicing for a long while. I used to cook for my father all the time, see? This remark catches your attention. Quizzically, you look at your hostess, your abashment over your animalistic eating habits suspended. What happened to her father? What do you think happened? There was a plague and everyone is dead. Bruh. It seems a grim thing to contemplate after having eaten. Or maybe it's, oh, did you like it? Where's your dad? In your belly. Didn't your hostess mention something about a plague? Yes, your hostess says, her voice soft now and serious. That's right, there was a plague. And what of the villagers? What of her father? They're all gone now. Gone? Yeah, you see? Your hostess rearranges herself upon her chair, one slender leg folded over the others. Why don't we get to see it? Where's the sitting down with legs CG? Then she begins her tale in earnest. Talks about cannibalism just after meeting someone weird in a graveyard. A graveyard. No, I know. Like, can we not talk about cannibalizing things with strangers? My family has a history. We've lived here for centuries by the church, so we can tend to the graveyard. Ah, so this abode is centuries old then. It would certainly explain the dirt. My father used to prepare bodies for burial. Back when he was alive, he built the coffins, and he dug the graves, and he lowered the coffins into the dirt. I know it must sound like an awful job, but somebody's got to do it. There's no sense averting our eyes from death, not when it happens to the best of us. It's a noble profession, one that's been handed down in our family for generations. My father's father was a gravedigger, and so was my father's father's father, and my father's 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 father. Digging graves is in our blood. It's who we are. My. That was a surprisingly pretty speech coming from a girl who lives in the countryside. A girl who is without much in the way of education. It is apparent just to listen to her, the way she slurs her syllables together, that she's never had any elocution lessons, not like you. There's a determination, however, to her, and a pride in her genealogy which gives her a respectable aura. Plus aura. You can't help but be impressed. So you ask your hostess, does that make her one in a long line of gravediggers? Yes, your hostess, the gravedigger, says. That's about right, though was never supposed to be a gravedigger myself. It's not a woman's profession, that's what everybody says. My father didn't mind that, though. He taught me everything he knew, and then some. I might be a woman, but I have plenty of upper body strength. I can dig a grave just as well as my father could, without breaking a sweat. The despair of my mother up in heaven, I'm sure. I'm sure if she was still alive, she'd rather I focus more on feminine pursuits like basket weaving or sewing or better attract a suitor. Not that that would do. Not that that would do much good now. Oh, so you can't say anything about legs, you don't have them? Yeah, that's why I'm matching with her. That's why I'm matching with Gravedigger Peasant Girl. Generational legless gravedigger. Yeah. And then she also has a twin who also doesn't have legs, but that twin left the village to become a detective instead. There's nobody around me who'd court me, not for miles and miles. And what happened to her mother? Do you know what's funny? The presence of Miles being in this game shows that we're in America. Which is funny, don't you think so? You would think like, oh, maybe it'd be like some undisclosed location. But no, it's some undisclosed American location. Generational legless. Karma will have legs soon. She died when I was very young during childbirth. I was only 5 years old. Oh, well, you can relate to her at least upon this point. Your parents are not dead, at least not as far as you're aware, but you've not seen them in an awfully long time. They sent you away as soon as you were old enough, and they never once bothered to check up on you. Oh my god, my leg is numb. My leg fell as. Ow! 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 You stupid leg, wake up. I can feel like it's like static. It's like the prickly feeling. Oh, wake up, please. Ugh, it hurts. It hurts. Hopefully if I sit in a better position. I had my leg up. I was like resting my head on my knee. But I guess I shouldn't do that because now I'm suffering the consequences. Okay, sorry, it's back. Thought they were all royalty? No. The only royalty here is a princess. And the MC, she's just like maybe like a noble or like a wealthy family. She's from a wealthy family and then she went to like a private like noble school or something. Private, yeah. They sent you away as soon as you're old enough, but they never once bothered to check up on you. For many years, there have been no letters nor any visits. You offer the gravedigger your condolences. You do not know if they will help, but you feel like you cannot say nothing. The gravedigger, however, does not seem too upset by this turn of events, because she smiles, albeit somberly. It's alright, it was ages ago. I don't remember her too well, and I've never really had the luxury of sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I had too much work to do. Around the house, you ask? She's a gravedigger, and everyone in her village died to the plague. What do you think she's been busy with? MC, main character girl, protagonist girl, use your head. That too, I was the oldest child, so it was my job after my mother died to manage the sweeping and the cooking. Oh, and looking after all my siblings too. Glance about your hostess's humble lodgings. Do not see any siblings in the immediate vicinity. Where could they be? It's actually pissing me off. Are we stupid? Are we stupid? The gravedigger must have noticed your roving eyes. You're not being exactly subtle, because she shakes her head. I had siblings, 2 younger brothers. They're both gone now. Oh, you should have known. Yeah! You apologize to the gravedigger for your lack of tact, but she does not seem upset by this faux pas. Don't apologize, it's not your fault. My brothers weren't long for this world anyway. The youngest, he died when he was still a babe, and the oldest, he died before he could reach double digits. I was upset about it at the time, of course, but I've come to terms with it. Life's a fleeting thing in this wicked old world. There's something you learn in this trade. Digging graves, I mean. I've dug graves for the elderly and the infirm, but I've also dug graves for young babes still in their swaddling clothes. That's the nature of death. It comes for all of us in the end, no matter how old we are, no matter how much money we have, no matter how good or bad we've been. The great equalizer, or so I've heard. A chill creeps down your spine as you listen to your hostess's speech. She's not wrong, but the inherent mortality of all humankind is not something you wish to contemplate. It's too disturbing. For the longest time, my family was a small one. It was just my father and me. That was fine. That's how I liked it. I was very happy, even if our lives weren't the best. I've never had any fancy clothes to wear. We can't dine on the finest of foods. In the grand scheme of things, we ain't anything that special, but I've always felt otherwise. I thought that I was blessed. We knew hardship, of course, and famine, but that's just the way life is around here. Food supplies were low, we always helped one another out. I've had my father, but I also had the rest of the village. We all looked after one another, and things always worked out in the end. At least they did. Till the plague happened. Yeah, she had mentioned a plague. He'd been wondering when she was going to return to that topic. He supposed that the plague is the reason that the village, as you traversed it, was so very empty. He supposed that. You'd suppose right. The plague toured the village. I don't remember when. Feels like it was a while ago, but maybe it wasn't all that long after all. Feels like I've been on my own for centuries, but... Your hostess's eyes begin to cloud over. She looks as though she's entrenched within her own memories. What could she be remembering? You have never seen a plague before, though you've heard of them in your history lessons. Your history professor was quite enthusiastic about the subject. She talked about piles of dead bodies stacked up on the streets, and stacked up in the wooden carts to come take them away with no shortage of aplomb. Oops, I clicked OBS by accident. She was a strange woman, your history professor. The plague came on very suddenly. There's no warning. One day, everyone was fine, and the next, they were all dead. It's with no small amount of anxiety that you eye the gravedigger. Then you ask worriedly, surely they could not have all died. Is that not an exaggeration? Oh, if only. I wish I was exaggerating, but it's the truth. Honest to God. People in the village died one after another just like that. I saw what the plague does to people firsthand. My father was one of the first people who caught it. I think one of the bodies which came through that we buried must have had it. Not that I've known for certain, I'm just guessing still. My father didn't have an easy time of it. His skin turned all gray and clammy and complained about a horrible fever. There were night sweats and stomach cramps. And then there were the boils. The boils? Ugh! Pustules. They were the size of eggs and they were full of pus. When they burst, it stunk. The whole house was full of it. Stink of death. Wise one of the village came to see if she could be of any use, but it was no good. My father was too far gone already. She took one look at him lying on his deathbed and she shook her head. She said she didn't want to get any closer. I can't say I blame her. It was a ghastly sight. I didn't appreciate it at the time, though. I felt like she was turning her back on us. I wished her ill. I remember that after she left, till a few days had passed, she fell sick too. Then I felt bad for cursing her. I couldn't help but worry if it was all my fault. It's silly, I know, but... Gravedigger closes her eyes. She seems to squeeze her lids together until her lashes melt like flecks of fallen snow. Her shoulders, which are very slender, are shaking. She looks as though she might at any moment fall apart. It wasn't long after that the rest of the village fell ill. They all had the same symptoms as my father. Plain skin and the fever and the boils. The boils grew and then they burst and they died and screamed in stinking agony. My father died too, only 3 days after he fell ill, but I think even that was 3 days too many. I didn't want my father to die, of course. I did everything I could to help him, but it was all pointless. None of my herbal salves had any impact. I couldn't make a blind bit of a difference. All I did was stand about his bedside, telling him he'd be alright until his eyes sank into his skull like 2 black stones and his mouth dried out. During that last day, before he died, he might have been a corpse already. He didn't look at me, he didn't speak to me, he just laid in bed with his eyes closed, groaning. I'd never wished any ill on my father before, but during those moments The Gravedigger squeezes her hands, which are resting upon her black-clad lap, into fists. She trembles. Then in a voice throbbing with awful emotion she says, "I wish he'd just died." Well, based on an anecdote, it does not sound like she had overly long to wait. I wonder if she would consider that a silver lining? No, perhaps not. The Gravedigger is still shaking. She'll not cry, will she? You hope not. Awkwardly, you look at the Gravedigger. Texan karma is great to listen to. Thanks. I'm not from Texas, so I don't know what Texas people sound like. You're not sure how to soothe her, but you know you must make some sort of an effort, even if it is a token one. You shift upon your chair, which feels very cold and hard beneath your thighs. Then you say very softly that you're sorry. It's not much, but it's all you can think of saying. You had thought initially that your situation was comparable to that of the Gravedigger, but now you can see that it's not the case. Her suffering has far outstripped your own. Not that suffering is a competition, of course. Your apology feels inadequate to your ears, largely because it is, but the Gravedigger seems not to mind it. She's very big-hearted, that girl, to smile at you so, no matter how foolish she might be. Do you really deserve such kindness? Chill out! Oh, again with the apologies. It's alright, like I said. You didn't cause any of this. I'm not upset at you, I'm just recounting what happened is all. I do wonder, though, why I never feel sick myself. I thought I was gonna die, so I'd already prepared for the Reaper to come and take me away. Maybe he wasn't that interested. Maybe he'd already satiated his appetite and all the others. That, or maybe he thought he'd have to leave me alive for practicality's sake. With my father gone, who else would tend the dead? I was the only person left by the end of it, so I had to bury all the people in the village. They're all resting peacefully now, under the earth, where the plague can't reach them. On the other hand, I'm happy for them. They were able to escape from all their suffering. When I think about all the people I lost, though. The Gravedigger tenses. Then she sniffs. When I think about that kindly washerwoman who helped me scrub the dirt from my clothes. Aha! So this village did have its fair share of washerwomen after all. It would seem your earlier insistence upon this particular point was not without merit. Dude, the narrator needs to chill. This girl is like crying, like telling about the worst time of her life that she's ever lived through, and she's like, feeling like nostalgic and like guilty over all the people that she knew in the village, and she misses them and how they had like great times. And the narrator's like, ah, I knew they were the washerwomen. Oh my god, not the time. Narrator. Jesus. Main girl's gonna catch the plague. Oh, that would be like disgusting. And like turn like into like a, oh, I don't want to see art of that. But maybe she will. Ugh. And then she'll like put me out of my misery or something. And the handsome young farmhands who used to flirt with me. What the hell? Priest who preached at the church, who told us wonderful tales of paradise, and the children who would skip stones in the lake and play hopscotch in the streets. I can't help but feel so lonely. Gravedigger's eyes begin to shine when she's finished her address. No, that's not the word. When she's finished her address with tears, but she does not let them fall. She's being very brave, much more so than you are. Anxiously, you extend a hand towards her, meaning to... what? Give her a hug? You do not know her well enough. Pat her head? That would be infantilizing. Squeeze her hand? Perhaps that could be misconstrued as a romantic overture. That's the last thing you want. You endured more than your fair share of teasing over that. You sit there for a few moments, paralyzed by indecision, as the gravedigger poorly suppresses your sniffles. In the end, you let your arm drop back to your side. Your hand rests upon your lap, as useful as a damp kindling. As useful as damp kindling. You do not know what to do with it. You do not know what you ought to say to someone, though, to show that you hear her play and that you care. You do not know what that is. What this something might... Dude, Karma can't read. You do not know what this something should be, however. No words could ever console the gravedigger. They would never be enough. You can offer some balm, however, to the bereaved. And so, after a pause just long enough to be awkward, you offer your condolences. What else can you say? Oh no, Gravedigger replies, wiping a few strays tears away with the back of her arm. It's alright. I've grown used to it, really. Being on my own, I mean. It ain't so bad, really. And I'm not alone now, at least. I met you. You'll give me company, won't you? Well, what can you say to that? You aren't callous enough to trample this poor girl's hopes, are you? You know full well yourself how awful that feels. You can do nothing but nod, a response which makes the girl smile more widely still. That's wonderful. I know you're just a traveler who's passing through, but I can offer you bread and board until you leave. I have food enough and a spare bedroom. I can make it up for you right now. You must be tired after your long journey. Just give me a moment. Yay! Oh my god, we're gonna be roommates. We're gonna be roommates. The gravedigger rises to her feet in a flurry of excitement, then retreats. You watch as she departs, a little too eager to please, and frown. The girl's home is a small, humble one, with a low ceiling and slanted walls. You cannot imagine such a small dwelling possessing a spare bedroom. This so-called spare bedroom, in all likelihood, the room her father... What is wrong with my reading? Let me drink water. Okay, this so-called spare bedroom is, in all likelihood, the room her father slept in before the plague carried him off. Oh, I'm gonna sleep in the bed that her dad died in. You did not think that you would much like to spend the night in the room of a dead man. What choice do you have? Can I spend the night with you? In your room? You're tired, wretchedly so. Why, it's all you can do just to keep your eyes open. While you are running... While you are running through the forest, desperate to escape your pursuer, you had no thought in mind beyond finding some safe sanctuary in which you can recuperate. Now that you've found such said sanctuary, it would be unreasonable to find faults with it. You ought to learn to be more thankful for what you have. There are many, many people in the world with less. You rise and follow the gravedigger when she has finished her preparations for her so-called spare bedroom, which is every bit as cramped as you feared it would be. At least there's a bed, which comes as something of a relief. And the rest of these dodgings are so humble, you are half expecting a straw pallet. She's so mean. As tired as you might be, you cannot lie to yourself. You have no desire to sleep among the hay like an animal. The sheets of the bed are clean, too, a fact you discern with a cursory glance. So, you will not be expected to sleep upon the sweat-soaked linen of a plague-ridden man after all. This really is your lucky day. I got you this too, the gravedigger says, somewhat shyly as she hands you a folded gown. It's sleeping. I thought it might come in handy. Your clothes are, a little shabby. She can say that again. Your skirt's covered in mud and the hem is torn and ragged. This nightgown's one of my old ones, so it's suffered a bit of wear and tear, but I hope it'll fit alright. It's clean and nothing else. You accept the nightgown from your benefactress with words of thanks. You want to sound appropriately appreciative, but you cannot mask your fatigue. Weariness overcomes you and you yawn. The fact the gravedigger does not fail to notice. Oh, begging your pardon, I don't want to keep you. I'll be making myself scarce. If you need anything though, don't hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to help. Bye-bye. Good night. The gravedigger bows her head to you like a drudge, then hurries off, closing the door behind her with a thud. Tired though you are, you soon find that you rather miss your hostess's company. In the face of her good-natured smiles, you can almost forget all of the hardships you have hitherto endured. In your absence, however, your lodgings feel almost unbearably cold and inhospitable. You suppress a shudder, then unclothe yourself. Whoa. You work as quickly as you're able, but your fingers are cold and they fumble with the buttons of your blouse. The gravedigger is probably asymptomatic and will pass it to main girl. Ooh, that's a good theory as well. And that explains why she's the only one that's not been affected, even though everyone in her village is dead except for her. It's like so suspicious, you know? Hello, Smasher. Welcome. It takes you more time than you'd like to complete this endeavor, but soon you have your shirt and skirt dispensed with. You're too tired to fold them neatly, so you do not bother to fold them at all. Instead, you cast them carelessly upon the floor, as defiant as a sulky child, and pull on your new nightgown. Your hostess's earlier warnings were apt enough. It is quite worn, but it fits well enough. It is more comfortable at least than your old uniform. You've endured worse. Newly dressed and ready for bed, you loosen your hair from your braids and settle down among the sheets. It's with a sigh you extinguish the weakly flickering candlelight which burns on your bedside, and with another sigh that you lay your head down on your pillow. Though physically exhausted, you have to wonder whether you'll be able to sleep at all. You can recall your previous dash to the forest in such a vivid detail. Your heart is still pounding. That fear has yet to leave you. Perhaps it will never leave you. Your terror was such. It almost feels as though it has suffused itself into your bones, into your very being. But your exhaustion is greater than your worldly anxieties, and soon it claims you. Your eyelids fall shut, and your breathing, inevitably, begins to even out. It is not long until you're spiraling through a dark, deep abyss, lost in Morpheus's kingdom. But your sleep, despite your wearied state, is not as restorative as you'd hoped. Your imagination has always been overactive. Even at this conservatoire, you are frequently beset by dreams of the most vivid nature. The dreams that you have this night, lying beneath unfamiliar sheets upon an unfamiliar bed, are no less intense than usual. In your dreams, you're back at the conservatoire, the place where this adventure of yours began. You're wearing the crisp white blouse you once discarded, and your gray, unremarkable skirt. Your hair is tied in braids, and your eyes are downturned, forever focused upon your feet. You tried not to look at your classmates, and you thought yourself fortunate if they did not look at you in return. You did not want anybody to notice you. Until that awful winter, that is, where everybody stopped paying attention to you for good. Nobody tried to trip you when you walked past them in the hallways. Nobody, in fact, so much as glanced at you. All of a sudden, there were no malicious whispers, no wicked laughter, no pulled hair, no thrown objects. You were giddy with relief at first over this newfound means of tormenting you that your classmates had devised. But this little game, that of complete and utter disregard, continued and on and on and on as the days grew shorter and the nights grew longer. As the time passed, you began to fret as to the state of your own corporeality. Can anybody still see you? Did you even exist at all? Then, at long last, you found it, quite by accident, the source of all your woes. On one of the girls had erected it in the forest, through which you were in... I can't read. One of the girls had erected it in the forest through which you were sometimes bidden to jog for PE class, beneath the shade cast by an old oak tree. It was a makeshift tombstone, a small, meager monument made of stone, upon which one of your classmates had hewn a name. Your name. You knew at once, as you stood there, standing beneath the shade of the ancient tree, that this was the reason behind your classmates' silence. This is why they had, for many months, been ignoring you so assiduously. They had buried you. In their hearts, you had already died. Jesus Christ, girl. Your eerie dreams notwithstanding, you sleep more comfortably than you'd anticipated. When you awake the following morning to the sweet chirping of birdsong, you feel well rested, albeit woozy. Is it albeit or albeit? I don't know. Your head is aching. It is nothing, however, that a cup of hot tea cannot fix. You stumble into the kitchen in your nightclothes, your hair loose and your feet bare, and the gravedigger turns to you. She looks at your face, which is pasty, and your under eyes, which are dark, and exclaims in the manner of one accustomed to solving problems, not complaining about them. "Oh, you look awful." "I think you need something warm to drink, and maybe you need something to eat too. Let me get started on breakfast." And that's exactly what she does. She gets started on breakfast, which proves to be quite a simple affair, nothing like the luxurious food you were accustomed to in your past life. The bread is hard enough to break your teeth on, and the cheese is a bit too strong. It's food all the same, though, and you do not complain. Your stomach was beginning to grumble. The tea is inoffensive at least, and you drink it gratefully. You thank the gravedigger for her hospitality, and she smiles at you in return, a sunny smile, like a field of blooming bellflowers. She's so cute, and she's so nice to me. She's so nice to me, and I'm so easy. It's no problem. Don't hesitate to ask me if you need anything else, she says, words which come to symbolize your relationship. You stay with the gravedigger for many, many more days, and, limited though her means might be, she always tries to help you. The gravedigger sets you chores about the house to keep you occupied, a fact for which you are grateful. You need to do something to keep your mind off your frantic flight through the forest. You can almost forget about it now, during the day. During the night, however, it returns to you, the sound of your feet against the foliage and the swirling fog. When you sleep, you're assailed by nightmares. Sometimes you awake after midnight, the sheets twisted around your body and your mouth gaping open in a paroxysm of terror. Though you try to tell yourself otherwise, you're still afraid. Being with the gravedigger makes you feel less so, though, particularly when you're sweeping the floor or keeping an eye on the bread of loaves so they do not burn. You attend to most of the domestic chores, while the gravedigger concerns herself with the work she knows best, that is, digging graves. Her dogged persistence when it comes to this pursuit intrigues you, so much so that you cannot help but posit a question to her on one particular morning, when the sky is festooned with clouds. Why, you ask her, perhaps a touch insensitively, do you continue to dig graves? There's nobody left, after all, to dig them for. You've always been practical, and you cannot see the point in it. What's the point? The gravedigger ponders, while holding her precious shovel to her chest. Fortunately, she does not seem upset by your question, despite its bluntness. She's digging it for me, obviously. She's digging a grave for me. Oh my god, it's Karma, I missed you. Hello, Red. Welcome, welcome. Yes, you've missed me so much. You haven't seen me in 12 hours. Is it 12? No, 24. 24 hours. 12? I don't know math or time, apparently. Welcome, welcome. You should count yourself lucky. Her temperament is so very placid. I don't suppose there's any point to it, really, the gravedigger eventually says with a small smile. I know it doesn't have any practical purpose, but, well, digging graves is what my father did. He showed me how to do it so I could continue his legacy. My father wanted to keep our family tradition going, and I suppose I want to do the same. That's all there is to it, really. That's all? Is it? You think you can understand that? Though your companion's actions might appear to be illogical, there's a kernel of reason nestled among them. She does not dig graves out of any sense of purpose. She does it, instead, out of sentiment. Besides, I have to do something to keep myself busy, don't I? If I spend my days idling all on my own, I think I'd go mad. The gravedigger laughs at this, as though the prospect of her own madness is amusing. Her laugh, despite her slender stature, is not particularly delicate. It reminds you, perhaps unkindly, of the braying of a horse. What is wrong with the main girl, bro? What is wrong with her? She's so mean! You're ashamed of thinking such a thing, though, and your face flushes with the guilt of it. You cannot all be well-bred young ladies, you know. Still, the laughter of the gravedigger, as it echoes through the gray, gloomy sky, is strangely desperate. It sounds forced. Her smile, too, is a touch unnatural, the rictus grin of a corpse. Oh! You find, despite your attempts to return her laughter with a polite giggle, that you cannot. You cannot help but pity. Yeah, I would pity her too. Dude, she's like, I had to go mad. She's probably already mad. She has, like, probably one of the most, when she kills me, which she will, she definitely will kill me, she'll probably have one of the most reasonable, like, reasons to. Because she went crazy. She went stir crazy after being alone. Like, the princess, she was already crazy. She was like, I love them, so I ate them. Whatever. The mermaid, I guess you could say it's because she's not human. But she didn't even do it to eat me or anything. She just did it so I wouldn't. Okay. This one, she's gone crazy. She used to be normal, and then she went crazy. So it'll probably make more sense in my brain. Your retreat endures briefly after your talk with the gravedigger, then set about some simple chores. The gravedigger trusts you well enough to manage sweeping the floor, a task which does not take particularly long, and the preparing of the meals, a task which takes slightly longer. It's not until much later, however, once the sun has already sunk beneath the horizon and the moon is high in the sky, that the gravedigger returns from the outdoors. She is windswept after many hours spent exposed to the elements, and there's dirt caked beneath her fingernails. The gravedigger removes her cloak, which she hangs by the door, then looks to the pot suspended over the fire, a fire which you stoke with your own fair hands. The scent of cooking food, that of garlic and onions, fills the air, suffusing the interior of the kitchen in a homey aroma, which makes your stomach rumble. Taking stock of this, the gravedigger smiles at you, a toothy smile which, despite her status as a lowly peasant, is surprisingly clean and bright and white. Thank you so much, dear one. There's nothing like returning home after a hard day's work and find dinner already prepared. Now, let me give it a test. The gravedigger dips a spoon into the soup, then brings it to her lips. She blows upon it. Then she places the spoon into her mouth, the wooden utensil clacking against her teeth. You observe this with a touch of anxiety. Will she like the food you've prepared for her? You have cooked for her before in the past, and she's always very complimentary of your efforts. Cooking is not your forte, however. You've never had to concern yourself with it, really, growing up in a relative comfort as you did. You think that you enjoy this rural, rustic mode of existence more than you did any of the privileges of your past life. At least now, with the gravedigger, you have a steadfast friend, a staunch ally. When you're with her, you're not alone, and that is worth its weight in gold. The gravedigger exclaims, after drawing the spoon from her lips. Her smile, a bright, guileless one, is delicious. Your face flushes at this compliment. You're unaccustomed to receiving them, and it makes you feel good. Shyly, you ask the gravedigger if he truly means that, a query which makes the gravedigger smile. Of course I mean it. You become quite good at cooking, really. That's a relief. You were not very good at all at this cooking malarkey in the beginning. You do not know how to handle a knife, nor how to peel a vegetable, and you cut yourself more than once. You bled into the soup on several occasions, but never once did you throw the silly... You bled into the soup and you fed it to her? The gravedigger lives a humble existence and she cannot afford to waste her precious ingredients. Your soups during your stay have all been seasoned with the slightest hint of iron. Bye. Bye. That's disgusting. Today's soup, however, is a marked step above all the rest. You did not cut yourself with a knife even once. Maybe your companion's compliments are not empty fluff. Maybe you really are improving. This soup should be ready to serve. I have some bread too that we can eat it with. But oh, I should brew some tea too. Let me. Ah, yes, a tea. You knew you were forgetting something. You were so focused on the soup it must have slipped your mind. Your face flushes yet again at this oversight, and shyly you offered to correct it. The gravedigger, however, waves your request aside. No, it's alright. You made the dinner, so I'll brew the tea. It's only fair, and this won't take all that long. Would you mind serving up the soup while I'm busy? Of course you would not mind. You do enjoy making yourself useful. For a lady, you're awfully domestic. You work alongside the gravedigger to finish your nightly meal, and together you serve it, soup and bread, alongside 2 cups of piping hot tea, prepared by your hostess's own 2 hands. You sit together at the table, then partake of the simple fare after saying grace. The soup really is quite good, despite it being made from only the most commonplace of ingredients. There's a bit of a kick to it, and it warms you from the inside out. The tea, meanwhile, is very soothing. So much so it makes you feel rather sleepy. You would like to sit with a gravedigger for a little while longer and tell stories, as you have sometimes in the past. That or play cards. Ooh, I love playing cards. You think MC and gravedigger are playing Go Fish? The nights are long, and there's no better way to pass them than spending time with her. Games of old maid, alas, will have to wait. You're too tired for it. Do not know what's happened, but after consuming your victuals, you feel utterly fatigued. You do explain your predicament to the gravedigger between your yawns, and she nods in response. That's alright, you don't need to stay up with me. Not if you ain't up to it. You should head off to bed and rest that pretty head of yours. Do not think you're particularly pretty, but you presume that the gravedigger is just regurgitating a phrase to you. She does not truly mean it. How could she? She is far prettier than you are. Please, God, please don't let her have put anything in my tea, and I'm gonna wake up to death. You thank the gravedigger for understanding, then rise from the table. You retreat to the spare bedroom on trembling legs, then change out of your clothes. You've only just slid into your nightgown when you hear the rapping of knuckles upon your door, light and unobtrusive. This rapping could, of course, belong to but one person. It is the gravedigger come to check up on you. I'm sorry, the gravedigger says, her voice soft, but you rushed to your room so soon after eating, I couldn't help but worry about you. Would you mind if I took a look at you? I just want to see if you're alright. Gravedigger's trying to keep her voice steady, but you can hear it wavering regardless. She really does sound concerned. So much so, she could very well be on the brink of tears. Oh, does she think I got the plague? You do not want her to cry for you. You'd feel horribly guilty if you upset her, even inadvertently, given all that she's done for you. You bid the gravedigger entry into your room, therefore, without further delay, an invitation she hastens to take. The door swings inward with a creak, and there your hostess stands, still attired in black. Her clothes a stark contrast to your pure white, well, off-white, nightgown. The gravedigger looks at you, seated in bed with your hair freed from your usual braids, and exhales. Is that relief, you wonder, playing about her face? But why? What was she expecting to see exactly before entering your bedchamber? Thank you for letting me in, the gravedigger says, toying with her fingers. How'd you feel? Not too terrible, you reassure her. There are no particular problems with your health. You just feel tired. Are you sure you're not sick? Your face does look a bit pale. That would be nothing out of the norm. You're always pale. It's true. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Would you like some warm drink? Or maybe a hot brick to place in your bed? It should keep you warm. You appreciate your hostess' thoughtfulness, but you reassure her that this won't be necessary. You'll be fine. I hope so. I thought that about my father too before he... Gravedigger begins, but her face soon trails off. She does not finish that thought. She does not need to. You know now what she was thinking of before she entered your bedroom. Cold, clammy skin, a sweating brow, rank oozing pustules. You think upon these symptoms, which are eerily similar to those recounted during the Great Plague, which once beset your own country, and you shudder. If you don't want anything, then I'll be on my way, Gravedigger says. Oh, the Gravedigger says. But before that, this is just fancy on my part, but I was wondering, would you mind if I brush your hair for a little while? Aww, your hair? That's right, it's such a pretty shade of red, so I just thought, well, it's just fancy, really. You don't have to let me, not if you don't want to, but I thought it might help you relax if you're feeling under the weather. I heard it's supposed to be soothing. That's what the Gravedigger says, but you have the distinct feeling that she's the one looking for solace here. She's not quite so selfless, perhaps, as she would like you to think. But she's been so very good to you, and she's done so much for you, that you would not want to begrudge her with this small self-indulgence. You do not want to begrudge her this small self-indulgence. You rather think she deserves it. You agree, therefore, to her request, and upon doing so, you're certain you've made the right choice. Your hostess's face lights up immediately, in a manner which makes you blush. Oh, thank you, it'd be my honor. Now, let me fetch my brush. The Gravedigger retreats from your room in a hurry, but returns soon thereafter, holding in her right hand the promised brush. This artifact acquired, the Gravedigger then settles herself upon your bed by your side. She looks at your hair for a few moments, her expression pensive. This is that she will begin. The Gravedigger leans in. A hot brick? I don't know. Maybe, like, for heating, they put like something hot like under the bed or like under the covers or something. I don't know, to make it warm. I've never heard of it either. Does anyone know what it means by hot brick? Gravedigger leans in. The wooden frame of the bed creaks under her weight, a creak which melds with the sighing of the breeze outdoors. You can feel the bristles of the brush running through your hair. It's soothing enough, so much so that it sounds as though the Gravedigger is lost in nostalgia of her own, because her voice when she speaks is dreamy. I think my mother used to brush my hair like this for me back when she was still alive. That must have been a long time ago, though. It's funny, you think, as the brushes of the brush continue to slide through your tresses, that you and the Gravedigger should both be reminiscing in tandem about your respective mothers. Perhaps there's something maternal in the act of brushing one's hair, which is wont to summoning forth such images. I too would like my hair brushed. I have many tangles. Kiwopods don't have hair. Kiwopods are all made of fabric. I would not know personally. I cannot remember my own mother at all. I don't think I like having my hair brushed very much, the Gravedigger continues, her breath warm against the exposed nape of your neck. Oh my god. Oh. My mother used to complain that I squirm too much. I can remember that. She always told me to sit still, though it wasn't my fault I squirmed. She used too much force. Now this is curious. It sounds as though the reminiscences of the Gravedigger are not particularly fond after all. Did she not get along well with her mother? Can't rightly say, the Gravedigger replies in a somber sort of voice. I was young, like I said, when she died. I really don't remember her too well. But I don't think she ever had that much time for me. She was too busy with all the cooking and the cleaning. Oh, and looking after my baby brothers. But she had time enough, despite that, to brush her hair. She did what she felt she had to make me look presentable. Not that it really worked. It wasn't like the other girls in the village, you see, who liked to sit indoors with their mothers and sew. I'd always liked the outdoors. My father said I'd inherited that from him. Ruefully, the Gravedigger smiled. Not that you can see it with your back facing her. Mother said I wasn't very, well, maidenly. She didn't like that I was trapped. That I always traipse outside. Holy mouth not working. She didn't like that I always traipsed around outside after my father, watching as he dug graves. She said it wasn't appropriate, like I was some sort of princess wearing a fine dress. The Gravedigger snorts. I used to get a bit muddy, yeah. Maybe I did get burns in my clothes and knots in my hair, but it shouldn't have mattered. It's not like I ever had any hopes of marrying a prince, no matter what my mother said. But still, she hoped. She had lots of hopes, my mother. High hopes. Like that song. I hate that song. Sorry. I think she might have resented my father, maybe, for working such a menial job. Our profession's an honest one, but it never made much money. I think my mother was hoping for fine jewels and dresses and... Oh, I don't know. She always had ideas. Her head was full of fairy tales. But it was a shame, I suppose, that her reality didn't match up to what she wanted. I didn't match up to what she wanted. Holy mommy issues. The bitterness in your friend's voice is unmistakable. So much so you want to console her. What would you say to her, though? You never met your companion's mother. You never will, either. Her cold, inert body has been laying in the graveyard, buried beneath a tombstone for over a decade. You've no way of ascertaining whether your companion's mother truly cared for her. You do have intelligence, though, however, to understand that poorly thought-out condolences can cause much harm than good. Much more harm. You would not like it if people try to reassure you that, of course, your father loved you, really. If he loved you, then why did he send you away from his home? Why did he never send you any letters? You know he was worried about his finances, but that seems a poor excuse to pretend that his only daughter did not exist. As for your own mother, however, she was nice. At least you think she was. But she was woefully ineffectual. Though she was nominally an adult, she always cleaved before your father's judgment. You think she was afraid of him. Do not try to tell the gravedigger, therefore, that her mother loved her. That she must have done, else she would not have given birth to her. Instead, you sit there, letting the brush run through your hair, and you say quietly that you understand. Sometimes you feel like a disappointment yourself. High Hopes is a nice song. It's okay. Not everyone after a pause. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I guess it happens to all of us. You guess so. Parents are only people after all. While one would hope one's parents could be kind and attentive, they too can fall victim to caprices of their own. Just because one has brought a child into the world does not mean one will be able to take care of it properly. Not all parents are responsible, just as not all people are responsible. It's a painful subject. Oh well, it's alright if my mother never liked me, or even if she never loved me. I know my father did, and that's all that matters. He was always there for me, no matter what. Your companion's voice catches in their throat. She winces. At least until he wasn't. He died, and I didn't do a thing to help him. Your companion's shoulders are beginning to shake. You still cannot see her, but you can feel her body convulsing. You can sense her loneliness rolling off her in waves. It is all-consuming like the waters of a deep, dark ocean. Grief anew pierces your heart, not on your behalf, actress. She does not deserve to suffer so much. This you have no qualms with telling her. You turn to face her and pluck the brush which has been hovering in the air, inert from her fingers. Then, you let her know that her father's death was not her fault. What could she have done? She could not have cured his illness. I know, but I can't help but think, what if? I keep racking my head over and over, trying to come up with something. But I can't think of anything. And even if I could, it's too late. He's already dead. He's dead and buried. I buried him, and now I'm all alone. She might have been alone, you tell the gravedigger, but she isn't now. Not anymore. How can she be when you're there? I know that, and I'm grateful, but I don't know if I deserve it. Why would she not deserve your company? Do not understand. Because I couldn't do nothing for nobody. My father always looked out for me when I was a little girl, but when he needed me most, I failed him. I failed everyone. All the villagers, all my friends, all died. What would I do if the same thing happened to you? I don't think I could bear it. I don't want you getting sick too, not when I care about you so much. I thought I'd gotten used to being on my own, but now that you're here, it's making me worry all over again. I've been worrying so much I can't sleep from it. I'm scared. Your companion's voice catches in her throat. Then she collapses in on herself. She leans forwards, her arms wound about her middle, as if to steady herself, and she cries. She's so cute. She cries and she cries and she cries. For a few moments, you look at the gravedigger, unsure of what to do. Her pale face is streaked with silvery tears, seems to flicker in the candlelight. Her shoulders, which seem too slender to bear the cumulative weight of all the sorrows she's endured, are shaking. Your fatigue continues to cling to you, as insistent as the fog which rolls amongst the tombstones in the graveyard at night. You're not so very tired, however. You cannot offer your hostess some comfort. Hug her! Hug her! You do not know what to say to console her. You feel too weary to think of pretty sophisms? Sophisms? But there is something you can think of. You would not typically be so bold, of course, but you're tired enough, for once, to throw caution to the wind. That and the tears of the gravedigger are awfully arresting. Oh, we're hugging! You open your arms, and before the gravedigger can pass comment, you pull her to your chest. Oh. The soft exclamation escapes the lips of the gravedigger, quieter than the sound of wintry snow as it brushes the ground. Then there's nothing. The gravediggers stiffen your arms for a few moments, like the corpses she and her father used to seal away in their wooden coffins. She's all wide eyes and awkward, pointed elbows, tears still coursing down her pale cheeks. You worry briefly as you hold her that you have perhaps made a mistake. Were your attempts at consoling her too clumsy? You would not know. You've never been in a situation like this before. You've never consoled any friends before, because you have never had any friends to console. LOL. It is not so now, however. You're so far away from your old life as it is possible to be. Oops. And the gravedigger does not curse you for your impudence. Neither does she try to squirm away from you. Instead, she sits there, still as a statue, cradled in your arms. Oh, I'm very sorry to be showing you something so embarrassing. It's just I get so lonely sometimes. Until at long last, with a breathy sob, she lets the full weight of her body fall against yours. You run your hands against your sobbing companion's shoulder blades in her back, and gently you soothe her. You tell her that she does not need to apologize. There's no shame in crying. You hug her for many, many minutes while she sobs against your chest, wetting the front of your nightgown. No further words pass between you that, hello? But they do not need to. Words are irrelevant in a moment as tender as this, shared between two souls who've come to understand one another through mutual loneliness. Aww. You slide beneath your sheets. You still feel exhausted, and the gravedigger joins you without asking for permission. It would be unnecessary a piece of politeness, really, given your acceptance is all but assured. You already accepted the gravedigger. Oops, gold digger. That is not right. You've already accepted the gravedigger after all, every single inch of her. You accepted her hospitality. You've accepted her food. Now you're accepting her company. You arrange yourself beneath the sheets, then draw her body to yours. The gravedigger has not yet changed into her nightwear. Her clothes will be horribly rumpled when she awakes come the following morning, her head nestling against her chest. But tomorrow has ceased to matter. It no longer exists. There's no concept of time between the two of you. No thought of the day which will dawn once this night inevitably ends. Instead, there's only the warmth shade between you, and the wetness of the cheeks of the gravedigger. There's the sound, irregular now and less intense than before, of your companion's muted, muffled sobs. There's this gentle, tender moment, snatched in the mist of a deep, dark night, which can never be replaced. Your eyelids feel heavy, as though weighted down with stones. They droop inexplorably down, pulling you like a drowning maiden into the dark, impenetrable abyss of slumber. You yawn, then you fall asleep, cozied up beside the gravedigger like two cats in a basket. You sleep and you sleep and you sleep more deeply than you've allowed yourself in quite some time. I freaking knew that was a freaking death flag. Goodbye, bruh. Hello? Is this a nightmare or am I dying? Am I in a coffin? Am I in a coffin? Guys? Guys? But when you awake, you find that you're no longer in the bed upon which you slept in, shrouded by sheets. The gravedigger, too, is nowhere to be seen. Instead, you're quite alone, lying by yourself in the dark. You blink, but your surroundings do not come any clearer. Is it the middle of the night? Perhaps you were roused from your slumbers by the desire to relieve yourself, or else to slake your thirst. Your sleep has been awfully disordered as of late, and the smallest of noises have been enough to disturb you. But that does not sound quite right, though. You slept well. Of that you are certain. Your body feels invigorated, as though it slumbered for hours and hours. How many hours? You do not know. You do not know much of anything. You can feel a strange pinching sensation around your chest, however, and around your arms. It appears as though somebody, but who else could have been save the gravedigger, changed your attire while you were sleeping. That's a startling thought. The darkness which entombs you is even more so. It's over. Entombs? It's over. It's over. It's over. Yay, the betrayal. Not yay. Not yay. She just fell asleep crying in my arms. And I knew she was gonna freaking bury me alive, bro. I knew it. The darkness which surrounds you is unsettlingly complete. It's so thick you cannot penetrate it. Your newfound woes do not stop, however, at this deep, unnatural darkness. It's cold, too, and you're lying upon something hard. Some sort of stone slab? What's going on? You reach out, but your movements are soon stymied. There's something heavy lying atop you, something that's limiting your movements. You were anxious before upon awakening, but at this discovery you feel downright aggrieved. A sharp prong of panic pierces you, but you try to suppress it. Hysterics will get you nowhere. Let me save, because I don't know when they're gonna tell me to fight or accept my fate. In most cases, they only tend to make bad situations even worse. You ought to know that already. You swallow your mounting dread as best as you can, though it's coming on thick and fast, and try to squirm. You move your arms outwards, but they do not get very far. There's a wall above you, and walls on either side of you, walls which do not budge no matter how hard you push. Not, I must add, that you can push particularly hard, your anxious state notwithstanding. You've never had much in the way of upper body strength, nor lower body strength. You do not have much in the way of strength at all. You feel quite helpless as you lie there, out of breath from your meager exertions, unsure of what you should do. You can hardly see a foot in front of your face. You do not know where you are, nor why, but a terrible premonition is beginning to bear down upon you. One which initially you tried to discard. You do not want to accept it as a possibility, but where else could the truth lie? You're lying in a box, hemmed in by walls which offer only a scant few inches for you to stretch in any direction. Where else could you be but a coffin? Oh, I knew it! This is so scary. Can you imagine being like genuinely buried alive? Just by reading these descriptions, I'm feeling sick. The moment you allow yourself to ponder this awful reality is the moment you hear it, the irregular sound of drumming. It is though somebody, though they must be a very large somebody, is tapping their fingertips upon the lid of your coffin. That, or it's raining. It's not the fingers of a giantess, though, which is disturbing you, nor is it the falling rain. It is dirt. The sound continues on and on, as though it's drilling its way inside your skull. It's relentless. It's merciless, like the ticking of a great celestial clock. It cannot be stopped. Your time is almost running out. But you knew that already, didn't you, when you were running through the forest? Oh, shut up. I'm so scared right now. You ought to have known, silly thing, that you could not outpace your destiny forever. Sooner or later, it would catch up with you. You're stubborn, though, and you don't want to accept this. Not content to simply lie there, you cry out. You cry not for your parents whom you hardly knew, nor for your school friends, for you never had any. Instead, you cry out for your new companion, the girl with whom you've been living, and whom you shared one precious, cherished moment. You cry out for the gravedigger. Surely this is some manner of mistake? Once she realizes that you are, in fact, entombed in one of the coffins she's currently filling, for who else would be moving the dirt above you? She will cease her operations at once. She will pull you out of the darkness, back into the world of the living, and then she will hold you close. She'll embrace you. She cannot mean to cause you any harm. Not when she was so good to you and so kind. Why would she bury you? You cry to her so loudly you fear your vocal cords might tear, all while banging against the roof of your compact prison. You cry desperately, helplessly, and to your relief, your cries do not fall upon deaf ears. Deaf, not death. The sound of the falling soil stops, albeit briefly. Then you hear a voice. The voice is very faint, given it's filtered through your coffin's sturdy lid, but you recognize it. So, you're awake then, are you, dear one? The gravedigger says. She sighs. Then she says, in a perplexed sort of voice, now that is a pickle. I was hoping you'd be asleep a couple more hours more, so the last time we spoken could have been on better terms. If you kept screaming like that, I'm gonna feel bad. Huh? Your companion's words, though distant, are unmistakable. You're so tense, you're attuned to every syllable, and each one of them makes you gasp. Was this not a mistake then? Does she truly mean to bury you alive? Ah, I freaking called it. Freak you and your stupid shovel, bro. You posit this question to the gravedigger as best as you can, trying to keep the tremors from your voice as you do. Perhaps you think, in your optimism, that if you do not let her know how afraid you are, she will reward you for your bravery and let you go. If that's what you're hoping, though, it is in vain. That's right, you really do catch on quick. So it appears she really has committed to the task of burying you. What an unfortunate turn of events. Why, though, would she do such a thing? You thought that she was your friend. We are friends, the gravedigger said, her voice still worryingly offhand. Worryingly empty. I'm very fond of you. There's nobody dearer to me than you. I've had a really good time with you these last... how long's it been again? I don't remember. Neither do you. Well, if this little detail slipped both your minds, it can't be all that important. You have other things to worry about. If you really are friends, you say to the gravedigger, then what does she hope to gain by burying you? You do not understand. If you understand her reply even less. Well, here's the thing, gravedigger says, in a reasonable sort of voice, as though burying somebody alive could ever be thought as a reasonable action. I've been digging graves for a long time, see? You cannot see, it is too dark, but you affirm that you do all the same. Well, I was digging all these graves, but I never had anybody to put in them. Not for ages. It was rather sad. You think you know where this train of logic, twisted though it is, might be going, so you do not interrupt her. You know no good will come of it. All you can do for the present is lie there and listen. I was thinking I'd never find another person to bury in this godforsaken village. Not after the plague messed everything up. I was getting desperate. Until you came along, that is. Are you kidding me? It's because you wanted to bury someone? Because you're... Oh, what the freak? Now that I have somebody I can bury, I'm not going to let the opportunity pass me by. Why don't you just wait for me to die of natural causes? Why? I'm alive. Stupid. I'm sorry, but this is just part of my job. It's what my father taught me to do. It's all I know how to do. I buried my mother, and I buried my father, I buried all my friends. I'm gonna bury you too. It is sound logic, in a sense. As the daughter of a gravedigger, digging graves is her job, but something about it wrinkles you. If only you could put your finger on it. Ah, yes. There's a bit of a flaw with your reasoning, is there not? You're not dead! You might not be dead now, the gravedigger says in response to your ingenuity, but you will be, if given enough time. I mean, everybody else I've ever known's died. Who's to say you wouldn't be next? Seems rather quickly if she persists with her poorly thought out plan to bury you. Your coffin's not very large. It affords you precious little space. Eventually, if trapped within it long enough, you'll run out of oxygen. Then you will suffocate. That, or you will starve to death. Either way, your demise will be a slow, painful one. You're unsure which death would be worse, though, given how precarious your situation is. Do not wish to expend the necessary energy needed to ponder it. You need to plead. Sorry. You need to plead with the gravedigger, and quickly, while she's still there. You tell her tearfully that you would not leave her. Why would you? You try to sound as convincing as your day you to leave me. This way, at least, I can be assured we'll always stay together. If I bury you like I did the others, we'll never be far apart. I even took care to put you in a nice spot close to my home, so you're only a stone throw away, really. Isn't that nice? Privately, you think that the gravedigger has a different conception of the word nice to you. You did not say this, however. cannot say much of anything because the panic has begun to set in, is choking you, stopping up your throat so you can only cry. You scream, you beg and you plead, but it does little good. The gravedigger has already buried her mother. She's already buried her little brothers. She's even buried her father, whom she loved above all else. She thinks by burying you, she's doing unto you an act of great kindness. You think that she's gonna kill you. In a sense, you're both right. Your opinions are so diametrically opposed on this matter, however, that you'll never be able to find any common ground. You might as well save your screaming. She'll not listen to you. She's beyond listening. Shush, shush, dear one, says the gravedigger, very gently, just as gently as she spoke last night, when she confided in you all of her fears. Won't be bad, really. Nothing be able to hurt you down there. It'll just be like going to sleep for a really, really long time. You can rest, and while you rest, I'll tend to you. I'll plant flowers on your grave. You'd like that, wouldn't you? This way we can always be together. And I'll never be lonely again. While the gravedigger speaks, she begins to pile even more soil onto the roof of your coffin. The sound of dirt on top of you, on your arms, your legs, and your head, conceals your companion's final words. You cannot hear her. You cannot hear anything beyond the sounds of dirt and the scraping of the shovel and your own desperate, frantic screams. You scream and you scream and you scream without cease until your throat feels hoarse, but your efforts are in vain. You hammer on the head of the coffin with as much strength as you can muster. The lid of the coffin is nailed shut. You're in no position to remove it. All you can do is lie there, screaming and crying and banging your fists on the roof of the coffin, over and over, as more dirt and debris falls on top of you. Eventually, enough dirt falls on you to stifle your screams for good. The gravedigger can no longer hear you, and you can no longer hear her. You're all alone, trapped in a narrow wooden box, which, regardless of what you want, is now your new home. You can smell the soil in the back of your nostrils when you inhale. It's so potent you can taste it on your tongue. You can taste the eventual, inevitable decay of your own body. You will remain trapped here underground forever and ever. Or, to use less melodramatic terms, until the blast of your energy escapes you and you succumb to your own slow suffocation. Ugh. It isn't a very pleasant way to go, but you'll forgive me if my sympathy's limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led to your untimely demise. Now, what do you want to do? Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. It's like, it's not even like an immediate death. Well, none of them are immediate deaths. All of them make you suffer. Jesus. This game is sadistic and cruel. Will you accept this fate of yours and rest in peace? Or will you try to fight against it? Oh, I've never had like a fear of being buried alive. But if I did get buried alive, I think it'd be like so genuinely scary. But I don't think I would, so I don't have a phobia of it. Let's accept our fate, and then we'll come back to fight. Very well then, enjoy your eternal slumber. I suppose this is good night for now, but this is not goodbye. You cannot escape from me, even if you're buried deep beneath the earth. Where there is a will, there is a way. And even if the whole world has forsaken you, I never will. I'll never leave you. You'll never be lonely again. Great. Okay. How do we like this one, guys? How do we like this ending, guys? Okay, let's fight. Let's fight our fate. Let's fight our fate. Are you not happy with the hand that fate has dealt you? Very well. I cannot blame you. It's quite a grim ending. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. You are rather dearer to me than that. Now, why don't we give this another go? Just try not to be buried alive this time. I can only endure so much of your screaming. Your fate is once again in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? There's no more paths left. I told you to get her shovel. I am easy and I'm weak. She was cute and she was crying in my arms. And she said she told me sweet nothings, and then she betrayed me. I knew she was gonna bury me alive. I knew it. I knew it. Stupid shovel. Okay. We did all the 3 routes, so I think this is the secret one. Give up. So you've come back here, have you? That does not come as much of a surprise. Though presented with 3 potential paths, it's not as though traversing any of them would have any particular impact upon your ultimate fate. In the end, you were always destined to return here. Did you really think you had a choice? How hopelessly naive of you. I thought that you were smarter than that. Your breath, which once escaped your lips in sharp, ragged gasps, is now on the verge of petering out altogether. Your lungs feel deflated, as though they've been punctured. Your blood is rushing through your temples in a heady, overwhelming surge. Your stomach, meanwhile, has twisted itself up into knots. Your body feels heavy. Your legs in particular, they no longer wish to obey you. You take a stumbling step forward, and your foot gets caught in a tree root. You're certain that you passed this tree root once already, and that you sidestepped it, but perhaps your memory is beginning to fail you, just like the rest of your body. Oh god. You gasped, surprised and pitched forward, dull and senseless like a sack of potatoes. Your arm hits the ground with a crack, one which makes you cry out in pain. Tears begin to bead in your eyes, wet and salty, tears which you cannot stimmy. You're not as resilient as the gravedigger, nor as carefree as the princess. If you lived underwater like the mermaid, then nobody, at the very least, would be able to tell that you're crying. But you do not, and I can. Believe me, I can. Your arm aches dreadfully, but at least you can still feel it. Your poor feet, meanwhile, have gone quite numb. You would try to stand had you the energy, but you know, as you sit there dazed, that this would be a futile effort. You cannot stand, not any longer. It hurts too much. You really have been through a lot tonight, haven't you? I fear I've not been very kind to you, but you ought to be accustomed to hardship. Why then are you crying? You always have been a crybaby. That's why they teased you so much. It is because they knew they would be guaranteed a reaction. You're very predictable. Even now, after you try to borrow my power for your own purposes, you have not changed at all. As you sit there sobbing, you hear, or rather, you think you can hear, footsteps approaching you. There, to your right, is a snapping of a twig. To your left, the telltale rustle of leaves. Your every sense feels razor sharp, honed to a knife's point by anxiety. You're so panicked you feel as though you're gonna be sick. If you want to vomit, then why not? There's no shame in it. There's nobody here to judge you. Nobody but me. I've always been here, you know. I'll always be here, no matter how fast you try to run or how far. Do you really think you could escape me? Poor sweet child. Oh my god! The narrator was the person who was chasing her this whole time. Poor little fool. I did tell you, did I not? A contract with a witch is binding! A witch? No amount of physical distance between the both of us could ever sever it. I told you I would never let you be lonely, and I meant it. But I had rather enough of these little games. It's time for me to collect my collateral. Ooh! Oh, hello, witch! What do you think? She's so cute. She also has like the little bones on her dress. And then bones here, and of course the little witch hat. A soft gasp escapes your throat as you feel arms wind their way about your back. Naturally, you know whose arms they are. They are mine. I've been watching you all night. This is the first time I've reached out to you in so direct a manner. Did you not expect me to be so forward? I can hear your heart fluttering in your chest. It's beating very quickly, like a startled rabbit's. Your breaths are short and sharp. It's a cold night, and though I'm holding you, you're still shaking. I wish you would not tremble so. Everybody fears the unknown, but we're not strangers. We've spoken before, have we not? When you first called me forth from the ether, using the book you found in the library, you were desperate enough, then, to turn to the occult for help. You pleaded with me to use my magic for your behalf. You begged me. You implored and you entreated and you wheedled and you whined. And though I had some reservations, you forced my hand. I had no choice, not in the face of your desperation. Did not want to be lonely anymore. You wanted to have a friend, someone who would always be there for you no matter what. You wanted somebody to love you. Is that not what you demanded of me? Is that not what I've given you? You might think me wicked, but I think you were awfully cruel yourself to run from me after I made all your wishes come true. I did think, you know, about punishing you for running away from me. I thought of poking out your eyes so you might never see anybody else other than me. I thought of cutting off your long, lovely hair so that nobody else might ever think you beautiful but me. I thought of breaking your legs so that you might never be able to escape from me. I turned all these intriguing ideas over in my mind, but I'm a merciful witch. Though you hurt me, I do not wish to hurt you. You asked, after all, that I love you, and that's what I did. I've drowned you in my love. I've buried you beneath my love. I've swallowed you with my love. You've always been a sad, lonely girl, one who's been starved of affection. Oh my god, does that mean that all three of those were, like, not even a real? It was just the witch pretending? Or, like, it was, like, the witch created? Since we had, like, the witch, like, talking with us in, like, the little text box. Did she, like, create those, like, fake people? And since they're her creations, it's still her quote-unquote love? Whoa. I knew they were, like, all suspicious and weird. Jesus. You've always been a sad, lonely girl, one who's been starved of affection. Nobody has ever cared for you. Your life has been a barren, empty wasteland, one devoid of any fonder feelings. That's why I had to drown you, you see. That's why I had to bury you. That's why I had to swallow you. In the end, I was doing you a favor. I was doing it all for you. In that sense, you're very lucky. Did you know that? There are few people in the world who have had the privilege of being loved to the brink of insanity quite this many times in one night. There are few people in the world who can claim to have been loved by a witch. You've experienced so much love, it ought to have slaked even your unquenchable thirst. You know now what it means, what it feels to be adored. I've more than upheld my end of the bargain. Now I think it's time you do the same. From this night forth, you and I will always be together. Then I shall be able to love you endlessly. You'll never be lonely again. We're just telling the history after all. This is terrible. Oh, we were running. We were not successful, bruh. We were not successful, bruh. Well, that's the ending. It says I still have a lot more achievements on Steam though. I think, hold on, do you guys mind if I look at a Steam guide just to see how to do it? But I won't, like, look at a Steam guide to, like, do the answers. I don't know if there's, like, answers. I want it, because it says, like, I'm missing, like, 4 achievements, so I'm afraid they have, like, a secret thing. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe you can survive? It's saying to do new game and do the whole thing. And then at the very end, it'll give us all a different ending. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make like the text speed really fast and skip through everything, because technically we've played through everything, so it's okay, you know? Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe I can survive. Come on. Like, technically at the end with the witch, I do survive, but she She has no problems with killing me over and over and bringing me back to life. So is that really surviving? I don't know. Oh god, I have to do this a million times. Okay. Come on, come on. Surely we'll escape. Surely we'll escape. Skip all text, maybe? Oh yes, perfect. Let's go, let's do all of them. Does it have to be in an order? Castle, shore, village. Well, I guess it doesn't matter since we've done it all. I missed you, princess. I missed when you were kind to me, and when you liked me, and you didn't eat me. You were cruel to me, princess. You are so cruel to me, princess. And this music is so creepy. I think I need a fight. I think I need a fight for everything. So that I can do all of them again. Evil, 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 evil. Evil. Oh yeah, to see the witch again. Yep. The witch is at the very end. So I need to get murdered by all these girls over and over. I get drowned. Woohoo! Fight! No, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. You traitorous freaking girl. How could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? I gave you my heart and you betrayed me. Okay, here. Give up. Look, look, look. It's different. Okay. Now let's see what changes. Cause we remember it said give up and then like ... or just like something else. Now it says give up. Give up. There, you see? Are you happy now? I told you there was no use in repeating this night, yet you failed to listen. You've been drowned, buried, and consumed once more, and for what? Do you feel as though you've made any progress in your attempts to escape from me? Once again, you find yourself as you were at the end of your last foray into my forest full of nightmares. You are kneeling upon the ground, your feet aching, perhaps they're bleeding, and your skirt tattered and torn. You try to inhale, but it hurts. You feel as though your lungs have been punctured by a pair of embroidery scissors. When you swallow, you can taste salt upon your tongue. You blink, but it's so very dark in these woods, you fear you cannot see. There's a heavy, leaden weight upon your shoulders. It feels as though somebody is shoveling soil upon you. Your body's cold, as though it's been sapped of all warmth. Your blood, which ought to flow through your veins, feels as though it has frozen. That, or it's been purged from your body altogether in rust-red gobbets. Have you not had enough now of this nap? Have you not had enough of this now, silly thing? I'm saying this for your sake, you know, just as much as I am mine. Though I might have trapped you hence, I did it only because I care for you. I want only for you to realize the folly of your ways. Now cease your foolish attempts to escape. They will accomplish nothing save stretching your mind beyond its limitations. It has already, I fear, been stretched thin already. Humans are not designed to die, not as incessantly as you have. One death will be enough to finish most of your kind off, yet you have endured 6 of them. Oops, I got eaten twice, buried twice, and drowned twice. Whatever. You do not want to go through that again, do you? Then do not run from me. Let me console you. Let me embrace you. Let me love you. What do you say to that? Oh. Ooh. Holy. Legs. We can see legs here. Cat got your tongue? Well, no matter. You will not need your tongue to speak while we're together. It's an unnecessary appendage. However much you might wish, one day to whisper sweet nothings to me. I'm an all-powerful witch after all, and I can hear all your thoughts. I know what you're thinking. Do you? Do you? Yes, that's right. Silence is golden, as they say. You do not need to speak. You do not need to blink. You do not even need to breathe. Now that you're finally mine, I'll cut off your tongue and I will pluck out your pretty little eyes and I will... Oh, ooh, ooh! Guys, we're standing up for ourselves for the first time in our lives. No! I beg your pardon? What was that, dear one? Oh! Holy freak. It's my thumbnail. I didn't even know it was from this. I said no! I am not your dear one. I never wanted this. What? You would defy me still after all you've endured? Were 6 deaths not enough for you, you gluttonous girl? Do you wish for more? I just wished for a friend. I didn't want to be lonely, but you ensnared me. You tricked me. Well, I never. What bold accusations. They are not true, though, you know. They are bald-faced lies. I did nothing of the sort. My name might begin in a similar fashion, but I am no Mephistopheles. I was very upfront when we first met. I said, if you wish to make a contract with me, it would cost you. It is your own fault that you did not listen. You accepted my terms and now you're paying the price. Now if you will come with me, my dear. I am not your dear! Really now, this has all become rather tiresome. I must insist that you cease this childish outburst at once, or else... Or else what? You're gonna kill me? Will you cut off my tongue? Will you pluck out my eyes? You've already stolen my name. But it's coming back to me. What? No, that should be impossible. You gave your name to me. You gave your soul to me. You pledged your heart and your body to me, and now I want them back. I'm tired of these games too. Medea. Oh my god. Do you guys know? I know that name. Whoa. Holy whoa. You remember my name? I do now. You're called Medea and I... No, stop it! I'm called Rosette! It can't be! I knew you were stubborn, but... I learned how to be stubborn. Dude, I got serious, like... For a second, I was like frozen in fear. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna like find my name on my computer, right? But no. No, they did not. She's her own character. She's not me. Rosette. I learned how to be stubborn. Her sleeves are sides? Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. I'm used to being bullied. You're just like the others. I'm not afraid of you anymore. You took everything from me, and now I'm taking it back. No, you can't. Rosette, please, don't go. Don't leave me. We made a contract, you and I. You said you wanted a friend, and I promised to be that friend. I promised that I would always be there for you. Do you really mean to abandon me? That was the general idea. And what of me? What am I supposed to do? You? You can rot for all I care. What? Oh my god. She's finally sticking up for herself. Oh my god. No. Rosette. I call you. I call after you're retreating back, but you do not heed my words. You do not turn your head. Once, it was you who knelt in the dirt, your clothes tattered and torn, your dignity alongside it. You were so vulnerable then, and you were so very, very beautiful. In a perverse way, however, I think you might look even more beautiful now that you're walking away from me. That is a thing you humans say, is it not? You never realize how much you value something until you no longer have it. It does not hold true in my case, however. I knew you were a precious find when you first summoned me. Your fiery determination, even in the face of extreme hardship, endeared you to me. I thought you very noble, really. How you'd survived for so long in an environment which was so very hostile. For a human, I thought you were remarkable. That's why I decided to form a contract with you. I thought with a human like you by my side, my own life of empty, endless wandering might not be so lonely. Goodness me! I must be growing sentimental in my old age. Now you are not the one upon the ground. It is I. I could keep calling for you, but I know it would do no good. You will not turn back from me now, not when I've caused you so much suffering. I did not mean to hurt you, though. I did not mean to hurt you so, though. I truly did love you, albeit in my own way. In the end, however, I suppose the love of a witch was too much even for you to endure. Now there's nothing but the milky moonlight, and the trees which jut out of the world, and the trees which jut out of the earth about me. They look like monuments built in the honor of a foreign god. They look nothing from the world that you knew, Rosette. Because they are not of your world, they are of mine. Now you have fled me, like a bird let loose from its cage. I fear I will never see you again. I'll be on my own in this forest for all of eternity. Or until another silly girl, with stars in her eyes and dreams in your heart summons me once more. It has happened a handful of times in the past. It might one day happen again. Until that day, however, I will lie here among the foliage and the fog, and I will close my eyes. I will let myself dream. And enrobed in the undulating mist, I shall think to myself, it gets so lonely here. Oh my god! Oh my god. Wow. Wow, that was so good. Title drop! Bum bum bum! Title... Name card! Title... Not name card? I'm so stupid. Title card! What? I wonder what will happen if I play it again. Will it still put me in? Or what? Or like what? Will I be like another... Will it be another girl instead of Rosette? Honestly, I really like this. I really liked this, like, overarching story. And, like, the narrator, the witch being, like, kind of us the whole time. Like, wow. Wow. Very good. Very interesting. I liked all the routes, too. And I liked the witch. What did you guys think? What did you guys think? What did you guys think? I'm just gonna press start to see if anything new happens. But I won't play it again, obviously. I'm sitting in a forest. Sitting? Wait, it is different. Hold on. It is late at night and the sky is black as pitch. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I thought it was like... I thought it would just like go back to like the first, but it's still continuing. There's nothing to light my way, save for the moon's milky glow, but its rays cannot reach me, not properly. The trees which surround me, jutting out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are blotting out most of the light. If I were running, I would not be able to see where I was going. But such concerns are trivial to me. There's nowhere, after all, for me to run to. I'm all alone. You've abandoned me. You made a contract with me once, when you wished for a friend. It was a contract I swore I would fulfill upon my good name, but you betrayed me. Oh, Rosette, why did you have to go? My days were intolerably dull and tedious without you to amuse me. Your company slaked my boredom nicely, but now that you've gone, that boredom has returned fourfold. It's so consuming, I fear I might go mad from it, if I have not, granted, gone mad already. If only there was another mortal out there, one who might keep me company. If only... I'm hearing footsteps. Oh? Perhaps I spoke too soon. It would seem that another one has intruded upon my moonlit solitude after all, far more quickly than I was expecting. How very fortuitous! Well met, stranger. Does the moon Does the moon not look beautiful tonight? Why, it's almost as if our encounter were preordained by a being far greater than the both of us. But that, of course, is a foolish thought. There are few beings out there more powerful than myself. Now then, would you care to create a contract with me and relieve the events of this night anew? Is it me? Is it like me in the game? Or is it like some random girl? Oh, I wish I could save. I wish I saved. God dang it. Can I go backwards? Oh, I can. Oh, I can. Oh, thank God. Whoa, wait a minute. All my slave slots are gone. Can I put it right here? What should we do? Should we make a contract with her or should we not? What should we do? I'll let you guys decide. Maybe we'll say no, because I feel like if we make a contract with her, then it will make us like redo the whole game. But I feel like if I say no, it'll keep saying like other stuff. I shall head out first. See ya. Thanks for coming, Zeno. Thanks for coming. Have a good night. Have a good rest. See you next time. Bye-bye. Let's say no. Let's say no. Let's say no. Make the contract. The worst that could happen is that I have to redo this the whole time again just to see what it says to not make it. I feel like if I don't make it, then it'll like just keep repeating this thing until I finally make it again. That's my interpretation. Plus, I just saved, so it should be fine. But it did just wipe all my other save files, so I don't know. Now I don't know. Let's not. Oh, you did not wish to stay with me, dear one? Very well. You're awfully cruel, but I can understand how you feel. I am a benevolent witch, regardless of what some people might say. I would never force you to do anything, not against your will. My love is, and always has been, reciprocal in nature, though she did not appreciate that. Now, if that is all, would you like to run along? No good can come, you know, of soliciting with witches in the dead of night. You'd best be on your way, and quickly. Otherwise, I might just change my mind. After all... After all, it gets so lonely here. Oh my god. Okay, now let's make the contract. Let's see what will happen. Bum, 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 bum. Where's my load? Whoa, what the freak? It's gone! God dang it. What? It freaking wiped my save files! What if I do it again, will it say the same thing? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, are you still here? I thought I already sent you on your way. You certainly are a stubborn child. That, or you're a very cruel one, to take delight in my suffering as you are. Now, don't just stand there. If there's something you wish to tell me, I would bid that you tell it. Have you reconsidered my earlier offer? Shall we make it? What if we just keep coming back and not making the contract? Will she get mad? Or will that be, like, really cruel? I'm nervous, because now it means that the stupid, what's it called? The save files mean nothing. Rage bait the witch? Let's rage bait her. Oh, very well. Okay, it looks like it's all the same now. Let's make a contract with her. I don't think it'll change. Unfortunately, we can't rage bait her. It looks like that's the end. Yep, it's all the same now. Boo. Whatever, let's make the contract. Very good! Now come to me, dear one. You're lonely too, I can tell. The scent of loneliness positively rolls off you, much like mist in the early morning. Oh, come. Do not look so surprised. It was not at all a difficult guess. Why else would you be spending time with me had you anything better to do with your time? We are all lonely here. In that sense, we might not be so very dissimilar, you and I. Though I might be a witch and you a human, I am not a stranger to the complicated emotions of your kind. I was a human myself, once upon a time, though it was a very, very long time ago. Now come to me and I shall tell you a story. I will tell you a story of a girl running through the forest without ceasing. A girl entrapped in a patchwork fairy tale world with no beginning and no end. My story will unravel, unbroken, from now until the end of time. And if you allow yourself to be submerged within it, we need never be lonely again. Oh! It closed the game! It closed the game on me. Wait, what? Hello? Steam? I think that's the end. I think that's like the end. There's nothing else. It just force quit my game. What the fuck? Okay. There we go. There we go. Wow. I liked that. I liked that game. What did we think? Was it did you guys like it? Did you guys think it was decent? It was enjoyable? Or were you just like, not really for me? Opinions? Opinions, my dear kiwopods? It's so cold in my freaking house. I made a tea. Oh. I'm not drinking tea. I was drinking water and I spilled it all over myself. Freak my life. Hold on. Freak my life. Okay, I'm back. I just wiped it on my blanket. I need to take off my jacket. I like games like this. It's like not too short, but it's not too long, and it has like different like endings and like stuff like that, and it's like I liked it. I know this. The person who created this has bunch of other visual novels that they helped like write or develop or whatever. What's their name? Hold on. Ebihime? I believe. Yes, Ebihime. They have a lot more games, so maybe I will play them. Maybe I will play them sometime in the future. Yep. And the art was also very cute. I don't really have much to say. I don't really have much to do either. I gotta clean my house, and I was gonna shower later. So yeah, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out and finishing the game with me. I'm glad we finished it. I have so many like series on the channel that are like open right now, and I need to it makes me upset seeing them. So the current series right now is Ace Attorney. Oh, I need to finish that. Then I need to also play all the Papa Louie games, and then I also need to do all the Pop Tropic Islands. Sallyface is ending this week, so that's good. And yeah. Very interesting game. There's more content than I thought. Yeah, I know, right? Also, I think it's hilarious that you sent that 3 times. Very interesting game. There's more content than I thought. Very interesting game. There's more content than I thought. Stinky. Karma's not stinky. Karma smells very good, actually. I smell like skin right now. But I can lather myself in lotion if I wanted to. I don't smell like anything right now. Karma's not stinky. Karma is not stinky. Thank God. Yes. I don't know what you're thanking God for. Is it for me? For me being born? I agree. Thank God. Yes. I will see you guys tomorrow. Or next time. Or whenever. I will see you guys soon. Later. Next time. Yeah. Have a nice rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time zone you're in. Take internet's not working and deleted the messages, and for some reason it still sent them. Very interesting game. Very interesting comment. There's more comments than I thought. Have a good day. See you next stream. Yep. Otsu karma. Otsu karma. Otsu karma. Thanks for the stream. Have a nice day. Take care and not get sick. Thank you. Oh my gosh, everyone's been getting sick. Everyone's been getting sick recently, like near me, or like everybody like that I know, and I'm like, if I get sick, I would rather die, because that means I won't be able to stream. Yes, everyone, have a good rest. I'll have a good rest, and all of you take care. Otsu karma. Bye.